And good morning to you. It's Crystal from With the Angels and Beyond. I don't even know my company name. What the fuck? What is your company name, Crystal? From the Angels and Beyond, yo. Okay? I work with angels, and I also work with the Beyond. That's still to be explored. I have assisted with transitions, energetically helping a couple souls pass, and so that's part of the Beyond. Being told that I have mediumship skills, which I have yet to still quite discover what that truly means. I do have a connection to Beyond, and why am I crying? I'm a channel, and so I'm still discovering some of my gifts, and I think a lot of it I had hidden, and like a lot of the sensitivities that I feel and have felt as a child, I kind of just like locked it up. You're feeling too much, you're too emotional, you're too this, you're too that. And so as a kid, you're just like, okay, well, it's not safe for me here to be able to explore who I really am. It's not safe for me to express who I truly am because that's too much emotion. But as I've grown, as I've gone through life and I've gone through different experiences, I understand. I understand why my parents, not to the full extent, but I can empathize why certain things happened. I grew up where it's very odd for me to even hug my dad. I love the dad. I love the guy so much. I love my dad so much. We've certainly had our ups and downs, and we've had our moments, but but he is, I love that man. And so, yeah, it's interesting because like I see the relationship that he has with my kids, and it's I love yous and he hugs and stuff like that. So it's like things that he never was open enough to experience when we were growing up, but he's open now to experience those things. And I mean, for my dad to hug me now, it's honestly still weird for me. So it must be really weird. It would be weird for him. But, over the last few years, a lot of things have happened. Even over the last year, I feel there's been such a shift and such a change in my dad, in my parents. So yeah, don't know why I'm crying, but I just see like he's more open. They're just more playful and just enjoying life, and it makes me so happy. Knowing where they were, it really makes me happy to see that they're actually really truly embracing and enjoying life. But yeah, not even sure where that came from, what that was about, but yeah, also here to fucking break generational curses. Snap out of that shit. I've got so much ancestry, and I've got ancestors behind me fucking rooting me on and cheering me on, because we're here to do the damn thing. We're here to do something different. Like, a lot of us experience things growing up, and then we try to pass that shit on to our kids. Like, well, we did it, or it happened to us, and we were okay. But are you? But are you really? Because if you look into your life, if you start exploring and looking into certain things in your life, you'll see that there are certain patterns that you continue to repeat. There's certain people that you have in your life that, on the surface you say you're good with, but on the inside, deep down you're like, resentful towards them. You don't like how they treat you. You don't like how you feel around that person. You don't like how you don't like who you are when you're with that person, right? So a lot of us, we mask and we cover a lot of the shit because a lot of it's societal norms, right? We do it because society does it, because the next person does it, because my parents did it, because my grandparents did it, because my neighbor, my so on and so forth, right? We can have a million reasons why we continue to do certain things. And we never take the fucking time to bring it back to like, hey, what happened to me when I was younger? What happened that maybe sparked that influence, that contributed to why I am doing what I'm doing, why I'm drawn to the people that I'm drawn to, the circumstances, the situations. Why am I? Why is this a pattern in my life? And if you can see that there is an actual pattern, you're fucking here to break it. Point, period, the end. You are here. You acknowledge there is a pattern in your family or a pattern in your life, and you can even trace it back through your family, throughout your family. If you can see that, that means you are here to fucking break generational curses, because there are certain things that are familial patterns, certain types of men that the women in your family go for, a prevalence of alcoholism, a prevalence of addictions, cheating, that kind of shit. Like, there's so much stuff that we have inherited from our families, knowingly and unknowingly, that has fucked us up, that has contributed to the way we're living our life. And so when you realize that that doesn't actually align to me, if I'm in this relationship, like I was in a relationship that was very similar to my parents for like a long time, like for the longest time growing up, I had a relationship that I was with my kid's dad. I was in that for 7 years. And that was very eye-opening. It showed me a lot of the patterns that I grew up with growing up. And it made me grow into the person that I am now. Would I want to repeat that at this time? Probably not. But it has brought me to this place. It has allowed me to see certain things. It has opened my eyes to the shit that I used to be okay with. So am I okay with it now? No. And I realize there's a lot of things that, yes, maybe some things that happened, or some of the things that we used to do, or some things that happened to us when we were growing up, yeah, it happened. It was part of, the society or community or the culture or whatever, to do certain things, to handle your children a certain way. There's so many fucking different ways that can play out. It's just too broad. Okay, I'm just making a broad statement. We have been influenced in our childhood. And as an adult, if you look into your life and if you're truly happy, cool, then maybe you're good. But if there's certain things where you're on the surface saying, I'm good with this thing, I'm good with this situation, but in your heart of hearts, that's not fucking you. That's not who you want to be. That's not who you want to be with. Like, even staying in a marriage for the purpose of, keeping your family together, or because we don't divorce around here, or whatever. Well, if you have grown as a person, if you have evolved as a person, and you started like this, and you've evolved, and you've eventually just kind of went different ways, do we fault the other person because you've grown and you've changed? Is that not just life? Should we not have more compassion and understanding that we can change, we can evolve, and yes, it's uncomfortable, it may not feel good, it can uproot a lot of shit, and it can create a big ripple effect. And what looks like fucking chaos, what looks like destruction, is because the foundation that you had created your life is not true. It's not true to you. It's not true to who you really are deep down. It is a foundation that you created with the layers of who you thought you should be, or who you were told, or how you were raised, or how you were, brought up to do certain things or handle certain things, right? So it's not a true, actual reflection of who you really are. And so when you actually start pulling back the layers and you see that doesn't fit with that doesn't align with that, that's more like a family pattern. Like that doesn't really mean that that's who I am, right? Like, I'm that person that actually really do believe in love. That's why I've been single, because I'm not just going to rush into something. I will wait, and I will allow whatever needs to happen. And if I need to continue to grow and evolve and do what I need to do until it's time for that person to come into my life, then that's what I'm going to continue doing. Like, I'm not going to fault myself for being where I am. Because if I was meant to be with somebody at this moment, I would be with somebody at this moment. Okay? So don't fault yourself for being where you are. But know that if you are here to break generational curses, there are certain things that are going to be happening in your life when you recognize that they are patterns. There are things that have happened that have been going on forever, and it may have been something that your mom did, or your dad did, or your grandpa did, or your auntie did, or whatever. But it's something that you recognize seeing as unhealthy and want to do something different and want to be better and do better. So that's where generational curse breaking kind of comes into play. When somebody says you're here to break generational curses, that's exactly what it is. Generational patterns, generational curses. There's certain things in our lives that have just happened, and instead of just accepting and inheriting that pattern, you realize, does it need to be that way? Does it? And if it doesn't, then you evolve and you shift and you grow and you finally remove yourself and you break the chains. That's what that means. So this video went kind of like all over the place, but I feel like it went kind of, it came back together. So excuse me. I hope you have a fantastic day. I will leave it there, and more to come. Have a good one. I don't know what that was. That was a